Welcome to Refashion Series, episode 16. My name is Metta, and if you're new around here, I love to take old, outdated pieces and refashion them into cute, new, trendy, wearable pieces. I work with a lot of things that I find at thrift stores or garage sales, but I also have a small stockpile on hand of clothes I inherited from my grandmother, and that's what I'm working on today. I turned this scarf I got from her into a hair scrunchie. So today's tutorial will be on making a tied scrunchie. You can do it with pretty much any fabric you have on hand. I used the scarf obviously, and I think it's silk. I'm guessing that it's silk, I'm pretty sure. To get started, I have already cut this elastic to about 10 inches and I'll overlap it in zigzag stitch on the top. And I'm just making sure that it's nice and stretchy and that it'll fit around my hair about 2 or 3 times. Depending on how thick your hair is, you might want to adjust that. So now I'm folding up the bottom of the scarf, trying to decide what size I want to cut it. And I ended up going with about 4 inches by 26 inches long. And with silk, it kind of stuck to each other, so you have to be careful to make sure that you really cut it nice and straight across so that you're not fraying it as you pull it apart. Now I've sewn a seam down the side, and I am just checking the length with the stretch of my elastic, and I'm deciding just to trim it a little bit so it's closer to the length of the elastic when it's all the way stretched out. I went ahead and serged it, and now I'm going to go ahead and turn it right side out. I didn't use a narrow hem on this, but I probably should have, given that it is a silky fabric. Here's a time lapse of me turning it right side out. Obviously, if you have one of those turning tools, they are super helpful in this process. Okay, so I just went ahead and I threaded the elastic through the scrunchie, and then I zigzagged it up and down. I used contrasting thread so that you could easily see it. Now, to close this up, I'm going to, and there might be like a couple ways to do this. I'm gonna just pinch it and sew right over around the top, because then when we put our little tie things on, it's gonna cover that seam, so it won't really matter. And then it might also be good, based on the fabric that you're using, to use a little fray check right after you sew that, so that it can stay intact. So I've actually kind of tucked this edge in a little bit before I sew. I'm kind of winging it, so we'll see how it goes. So now I have another strip. This is all the way across the scarf. It's folded in half. And I'm going to sew the loopy shapes up here, and then leave the center open, and then another loopy shape over here. I ended up going with more of a pointed edge instead of a loopy shape, and now I will turn it right side out from the center that I left open. Okay, flipped it right side out, and I just need to sew right here. You can do a slip stitch to close it up, and then we'll tie it around the scrunchie. Okay, so here's that rinky-dink closure I did, and it doesn't really matter because you cover it with this. Just tie it into a little knot for a bow, and you're good to go. It's like super far away. There we go.
It wasn't slow-mo?
No, it wasn't slow-mo, but it's really cute. Here's the slow motion she was hoping for. I'm really grateful that Sabrina was able to model these for me. She looks super cute in them. And it's so fun because I made these for my other sisters as well. I have 3 sisters. So it's a fun way that we can all remember Grandma Metta and kind of share that little bond. And it's so easy, you guys. You can make it with any fabric you have. It doesn't take very many supplies, and I hope you enjoyed it. And next week, I'm going to use that same scarf to make these bow ties. So follow along and that will be posted. If you like this, please follow along and subscribe. Bye.